Here, we're going to do the sides first. It was so hard to do this. It's windy. I'm by myself.
Boo-hoo! Boo-hoo-hoo!
What I done was I basted the zipper, which is that two-way tape. I basted this zipper to the tracing material. I zipped it up there. I put some of that basting tape around the outside of the boat and across this top edge of the window here, and got it to where I kind of wanted it. I traced out my edges. I'm going to take you out there with the camera and show you here in a minute. But I just kind of want to tell you what I've done. That way it's going to be easier once we get out there. And then I kind of just made a thing on how I'm going to want it to go. You know, how I'm going to want the window to stop and go. It's going to basically follow this down like that. And then when we do the outside one, it'll have Velcro and a zipper plus this zipper. So actually that front might just have Velcro. I ain't decided yet because we have a zipper here. And then it'll be snapped across the front because this is all be snaps to here and a couple snaps there and maybe one or two on the side there of the boat. The rest is zippered, Velcroed. You'll see. I'll take you out there. But I couldn't put the camera out there anywhere to show you when I done that or how I done that. So basically I wanted to explain it. Now I'll show it. Show and tell.
Interesting show and tells.
So let's go up this ladder. You can see how windy it is. The wind is just blowing.
Come on out, boy! It's windy!
All right, so if you look, I traced it out. There's already one button here, or snap there. There's a few snaps across here. We'll probably put a couple more in. We're going to replace them anyways, these. And then the lines are kind of drawn. This is where the button line is. That's where the bottom edge is. We won't go past that. Here's where we won't go past this. I was going to curve it, but I think it's going to be better like this with a couple buttons there. We got another one up here, and we'll do another one here somewhere. So that'll be nice and tight there. Across the top, we did the bottom of the zipper line, which is here. This is the bottom of the top, where it ends in the back. Same in the front I did, and then our line will draw with the ruler. We'll straighten all these up inside. So, like I said, the basing tape it's here, across the side there. If you can't see it now, but it's just, and it just sticks to it. Then you just draw it out. That's how I did that top too. So, and then once this is all together, we'll be able to put one side down here with the snaps, get it all tight and zipped up. Then we'll go to the other side and we'll pull it tight, and then we'll set the snaps where we want those on the other side, so that whole top will just tighten up side to side. You get what I'm saying?
Most logical explanation.
And then some of those wrinkles across the top will come out. So yeah, I'm gonna pull this out, get it back inside, then I'll bring you guys back in there. All right guys, so here's what we done. We traced it all on a boat. Inside this inner line is gonna be only the window showing, the plastic glass, whatever you want to call it. The outer stuff and up to that line will be material. The markings for the zippers are all in here, where they end, where they stop, front, port side out, bottom, top, we're all marked. The only thing I'm going to do different here, I cut that up a little. I'm going to go straight across there. When we mark this, I'm going to get the ruler. So I'll mark it out, we'll cut that out, and then we'll have our template. So let's go ahead and get this done. All right, I'm gonna get a smaller ruler. I don't think this can be straight. Yeah, it's got a little curve in it. Okay, so let me go as careful as I can here. And then when I cut it, I'll cut it straighter. That's gonna be tough.
How tough can you get?
And I gotta make sure I'm using up this material right, glass, because it ain't cheap. It's like $25 a yard with the paper backing, so you can keep it under there while you're working on it so you don't scratch it up. Because even though it says scratch resistant, if you go sliding it across stuff that's going to scratch it, it will scratch it. Don't think it won't. Try to do this on that one. Yep, a lot better. Okay. Then this one's going to go into that. Yeah, so this plastic glass, whatever you want to call it, vinyl, clear vinyl, it will be, the whole perimeter of it is going to be that, but there's going to be areas where there's going to be material on both sides, front and back, for our edges, outsides, whatever you want to call it. I think this one I can do with the ruler too. Scoot these in a hair. I believe so. Okay. Now, this top. Yeah, we'll make our lines with wax pencil, China marker, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to use this up or lay it down right so we get the most out of our clear vinyl, because this, like I said, it ain't cheap.
Oops.
And there goes my long ruler. Okay, let me make sure I got it marked everywhere. Yes, 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 yes. Yep. Okay, now we can cut it out with the paper. This is no biggie here where I went into it, because that'll be material on both sides, so you'll never see it. Let's do it with this one. So I'm going to cut it with the paper. Like I said, I want to keep my paper because we don't want to scratch it when we're sewing it and using it. We're going to try to use it throughout the whole project. If you notice, when I cut, I don't do that. I don't go full. You use half cuts and you won't have stop lines all through it. You know what I mean? So you don't want to go like this and then start again, because then you're going to have a little line there. I cleaned it up just now, but I wanted you guys to understand that. Okay. I'm going to try to go in some here in case we have an ear on the next one that may need a little more there. Not the easiest stuff to cut. Once we get this all done and everything's snapped in place and it's nice and tight, I'm going to do another drone shot just so you guys can see how it tightened everything up. Because this, you got to remember, this is going to be zipper here, zipper there, buttons, buttons, buttons across the bottom, Velcro going into the next one, buttons and zippers across the front. So this will all be a tight thing, you know what I mean? All right, let's put this over there. See how I'm sliding that around? That paper wasn't on there. Any little thing on the counter, we'd probably see it in it. Okay, this is trash. Oops. So basically this is the outside of it when we're looking at it. So when we sew on the inside, we'll know because we're all marked here. And then I'm going to get some things done on here first, and then we'll go up to the other side and see if it fits it right. If it does, we'll use this template for this side. If not, we'll try to use this on that side, adjust to it, maybe add some more, because I don't want to waste this stuff either, because this stuff ain't cheap. So we can maybe add to it. But the basics of it will be the same. How it looks, how it is, you know, even if we're a little bit off on a part, or this measurement a 1/16 more or ½ inch more, whatever. So, okay, let me get some of our other material. I'll bring you guys back here in a second.
1 sec.
Okay, what I've done here, I cut the inside glass out. We're going to keep it in case we need it on the other side. We'll tape it back in this pattern, because unfortunately, well, I don't think I wanted it anyways to get this complete. I want to make strips actually, so, and then we'll sew into them. Let's see, that's definitely going to be one. I'm just trying to think how I'm going to end them, start them and end them. I think on, because we're going to overlap. This one here is going to be a little weird. I'm going to probably have to come into it. The top and the bottom won't be so difficult. Let's do those first. Try to get, because we're going to have to cut 2 of each, because we're going to go on the inside too with it. All right, that'll be one there. I'm going to try to, let's see how this works. If I go like that, let me see what I come up with here. Okay, I needed the line on the inside, dummy. Will work, I just need to get our inside mark. Well, okay, that one's going at an angle. So we'll draw that one in. This one, we'll draw it in too. All right, so we need 2 of those. Let me just cut one off. That way I can use that. I'm going to cut right on the line, that way, because the thickness of the marker, it actually made it a little bit wider. Yeah, this stuff is pretty wild. It's, like I said, it's strong, but it's kind of like a paper feel to it, really. You can't rip it like paper, that's for damn sure.
That's for damn sure.
You can see that there's material in it, but I don't know what this coating is that they use. This material is also used for the like boat covers and stuff. All right, there's one. So now we need another one for the inside of this same shape. Now I can also try to utilize this a little bit better. Well, I ain't going to get that, but I'll get this like that. That's our bottom. So I'm thinking right now, what I'm probably going to do here is, because we're going to be here for a minute if I record all this. You see what I'm doing, so I'm going to go ahead and pattern out the rest of this. And then once we're all there and we're getting ready to go to the next step with sewing it all on the thing, I'll bring you back. That way we're not boring.
That's boring. You're boring.
And wasting. Cool. Be back shortly. Okay. What we're going to do first here, we're going to lay some basting tape down, because this is going to have to be for both sides. I'm going to do a couple just to show you what I'm doing, and then I'll finish the rest. That way we don't burn up a bunch of time. This stuff's kind of hard to do around bends. Okay. I done the other side, well, not all the way completely, but I got it as far as, I'll show you guys. I don't know if you can see it in the other camera, but try to go as quick as I can here. See, the problem with this has to be done because it's going to be hitting both sides. I'll show you what I mean by that here in a second. Okay. Now we have to put a mark, 1/2 inch, roughly. This is going to be my seam fold. If not, we won't be able to, it'll just have a raw edge. So that phone ain't going to stop. It ain't done nothing all day. I'm telling you, it hasn't. Not a thing. Okay, this is just for reference because I'm going to take and put a tape line down. That way we know where our other side's going to fall, so it meets it when I sew it. Alright. Then I'm going to take some of this, put me a tape line here, just so we know where to put our basting tape for this one. I think I used a 3/8 on that one because it was, gave me a little more stick area because I'm doing a fold. So I wanted it to hold it a little bit stronger. Come on, don't start. Yeah, I ran into a couple other problems on that other one. I'll show you guys as we're doing this one. Unexpected. But it is what it is. You have to deal with it. Nothing real big, but...
No, how big was it?
It was pretty big.
I usually just pull that one back halfway, start in the middle, and then I can put my... Make sure this is going down good. The good thing about the other side is we don't have to tape line it because we have our line here from when we flip it around. So you only got to do this on one side. Now, and I'm probably doing mine a little different than what you might find like on Searay's video. See, you can do this several different ways. You can put binding across this and just lay it flat. You know what I'm saying? The binding can lay flat, like halfway on this side and halfway on that side. Like I did the top, the bimini top. I did that a few times on that underneath. But I don't have enough, so we're going with the seam. And the seam's going to be all the way around it. I'll show you the other one here. Let me get this. And I'm keeping this paper underneath it throughout the whole thing, because I don't want to scratch it by any dirt or something like that that's laying on the counter or something real rough. So we'll kind of just try to keep it there the whole time. Yeah, see, there's already little specks here that quick. So, all right, so this one we're just going to put, where you at? the bottom. As you can see, this can go through this stuff here pretty quick. When you're making, I'm doing a complete, well, we did the bimini, now we're doing the windows, the enclosures. So that just goes to show you to prepare for that one, depending on how big your project is. If you decide to do something like this. Yeah, I probably should have. Let's see. Nope, we're good. Unbelievable, that phone, I'll tell you. It's like a, if I ignore it, it does that to me. Yeah, so this side we don't need to do the tape line because we already have our back side. So I'm just going to follow it. Okay, we'll start in the middle.
How come you didn't start in the middle?
Match our other one. Put a little crease in it. Start walking her down. Like I said, if I had enough of that binding to use it like I did on that top, I surely would have done that. But I really don't have the time to wait to order some. And this works too. Like I said, it's just, you got to use a little more material, like this basting tape. And it does take a little longer to do. All right, I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and get this thing sewed up while we got it. All right, let me try to slide this down from this paper a little bit so we don't hit it or sew it into it, which I did on the last one. That was one of my little deals I did. I think that's the way. We'll do the top one first, and all I'm going to do is sew across this side foot. I'm going to use that as a guide, the side of the edge here. Did I catch it? Oh man, I think I got it. Nope. Listen to that dumb thing. I think I'm going to end up making a total of the 2 side windows, enclosures, and then I'm going to do 2 or 3 across the front, and then use zippers and Velcro to, you know, hook them together. I was going to try to do it in one, but the problem with that is if you're by yourself or putting it on by yourself, it becomes a job. So I want to make it easy for everybody. It's a little more work for me, just like this here was, but it ends up being, so I'm not going to sew the bottom because we got to put binding around it, so why waste the, you know, thread. So I'm going to do one more. I'll do the top one here real quick on camera, and then I'll finish the side ones off of camera. And then once we get past them and we get going on the rest of it, I'll bring you back and we'll proceed with that.
Onward! Onward!
All right, same thing here. Oop, that's the big one. We'll keep it for the fold. I tell you, I'm in love with this basting tape. I don't know how I did without it all this time.
Where have you been all my life?
It just makes it easier on stuff like this for sure. I definitely want to use it in the future again. And oops, what am I doing? Make it a little more. Okay. Mark the 1/2 inch. Give us a little mark. As I said before, it doesn't have to be perfect, just so it's close to that, because all you're going to do is match the other one to this one. So all right. And you could probably do this without the basting tape, but I mean, not probably, you can, but it's just a little more difficult. You got to sit there and, you know, make sure you're keeping your, I'd say if you took and did your seam and folded it over and, you know, like heated it like with some steam or something, or made it real creasy, then I know for sure you wouldn't have no issues. But the problem is you got to get you want to make sure you got it falling right the whole way while you're sewing it. So you would have to fold it, look at it, but you get the problem is you got both sides. That's the tricky part. If you were just doing the one side, then it would be cake. The problem is you're trying to hold the other side, keep that seam folded and down on the same line. So this is almost a must. Erase what I just said.
Disregard that order.
Yeah, single side, yes. Two sides, no way. Yep, you'd have a good issue there. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to do this one here. We'll sew it up, and then I'll finish the sides. It's the same thing. We ain't doing nothing different. And then I'll bring you back when we're going to the next step. Why do I keep wanting to do that? So nice using that stuff, man. I can't say it enough times. I like repeating stuff 100 times, as you can see.
You talk too much.
See that one came off. No, it didn't. I just my basing tape was down there. See, I almost went by that and goofed up. Unbelievable. I bet anything it's nothing important. This table is not the levelest. Stuff rolls this way and stuff rolls that way. All right, let's get that over there. Buzz that sucker. Bum, 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 bum. I almost did it again. Like I said, I forgot on the other side to pull that paper back and sewed it into it. But I had to take it out anyways, and I'll show you the issue I had. That was the issue I had. I tried to put, what it was I only had a little bit of 3/4 black binding here in stock, and I was wanting to get these things done this weekend, and so I went ahead and started putting the binding on that one, and all it did was catch just it was 3/4 binding. I need 1-inch binding, because the thicker it gets, the more material you use, when you go to fold over it to hit both sides, it takes up more of the binding material, so not enough. It was barely hanging on, so I took it all the way back off. It was a wasteful day with that yesterday with the binding, but I learned something. Don't try to cut corners. All right, we got all that done. It's sewed up. I was trying something new today with the cameras where I don't have to move the one around and just use the other ones. We'll see how it turns out when I edit. Should be okay. Okay. Let me try to give you guys a look on what's going here real quick. Okay, so I don't want to pick this up too much because of that paper, but if you guys can see, we got both of our insides sewed. As I said before, we won't sew the outside because we're going to put binding around the whole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put the sides on real quick and get that far, and then, as I said for the third time, I'll bring you guys back here shortly. Okay, sorry about the fan, guys. It's scorching outside. So I got one of these done, not done, but I want to show you what I've got done. So basically, that thing's gonna fly away now because of this stupid fan. Let's see if we can't. Oh well, I'll get it. All right, so that one's, you can see it. The binding's all around it. I've got the Velcro along the top and the zipper for the top part. The back's the back. But we still have to put one more zipper down this side and one more zipper across for the front window and a small piece of Velcro here. So we're gonna do the other side together just so you guys can see it. So I'm gonna get you set up over at the machine. I'll be right back. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and get the binding put around this thing. I don't know if I brought it up earlier in the video, but the binding I tried to put on it was too small. I had to get some 1-inch and wait for it to show up. It came yesterday, but all right, let's get this going a little bit here. All right, so I think what I've done was, I believe I've done, yeah, the top and the bottom. No, I did the top, the sides, then the bottom. That's what it looks like. Okay, I want to try to keep them the same. Not that it really matters, but yeah, I also had to make a little stopper here because that thing was sliding out my plate. So I had to make just a little piece of steel there to stop it from going, you know, that way. But the 1-inch is definitely better. I think they have 1 1/4 too, which I don't think would have hurt anything. The thing is, when you're going over 2 and 3 layers of material, you know, we got the window in there and this on each side. So once you try to go around that, you know, the end result is the binding starts to shrink where it sews.
It's shrinking! It's shrinking!
You know, I mean, you don't have much material left, so. But the 1-inch is pretty common, and I think it's good. I mean, it's down in there real good, so try to get this out just a little bit here so I can cut it. And then we'll cut it off with a knife just to burn the edge. Actually, I gotta go do that real quick. Okay, top, sides, and then the bottom. Yeah, also I was saying something about that hot knife, that hot blade knife, whatever you want to call it. It's backwards. I was saying, man, that thing is super hot and it's turned all the way down. It was turned all the way up. But the knob, if you think pushing it forward is turning it up, it's turning it down. And it's the other way around to turn it down. So kind of weird. I figured that out and I was like, well, that explains everything. I am putting a little lock or back stitch on each corner. Just, I know they say you don't have to and they don't do it. People don't do it, but I just do it because I know in my heart that it's locked there. You know, even if I'm going over it here in a minute with the other stuff, I'd rather know that it was locked. I'm trying to keep this stuff as much as possible underneath this. It gets harder and harder as we do this. I don't know if you guys can see this. No, I didn't put that on there. That's how they come, the spool of the binding. If you buy a spool of it, and they're not cheap. By no means. Get a little bit. Yeah, they're like, that's $200 just for that thing, for 100 foot. So that's 3 foot in a yard, so you're looking, I'm not a math whiz, but it's not a whole lot. I mean, it's quite a bit, but it ain't a whole lot. For the money, that stuff ain't cheap, I'll tell you. Let me cut those real quick. Okay, let's get this one in. Yeah, even now with the binding on it, it's getting real thick. So now what I gotta do is I gotta pull this back a little bit, get this underneath my binding right there. Try to, let's see how I wanna do this. Actually, let me lift my needle up. Get that a little forward underneath there. I want it to start sewing right there. Okay. Yeah, as it gets thicker, it gets harder to put around that stuff, and you're, like I said, you're losing material.
Everything's just getting harder and harder.
You're trying to go around a bigger area now. See how this works all better now with a roll on it. I actually need to make like a adjustable, somehow an adjustable thing here to keep that wheel kind of going. I mean, it's okay, but I think if I did some kind of a slot where I can, I don't know, I just have to rethink that a little bit, but it does work good. It could be better. Could be better. All right, let me burn these two real quick. Yeah, that hot knife works so much nicer now. It's not catching stuff on fire anymore. I had it cranked all the way up thinking it was all the way down. Yeah, why they put that switch in reverse, I don't know. I'm sure they have their reasons. Okay, once again, now we got some curves down here. These are the fun ones here. We got to do some. On that one there, I had to come back. I missed a couple little ones. Just on one little area. I think it was back on the back, but I had to come back and just sew over it a little bit with the machine. No big deal, but I did have to do that. All right, let me get this in here. Lift my needle up. Get that where I want it. Hopefully I can get it to stay tight on there. Get that way. Yeah, so what I had to do here was a little tricky. I had to kind of play around with it as I'm going there through it. So I'm leaving it kind of bunched up in areas until I get there. It's kind of hard to explain, but and I got my needle falling on this binding just a little in from the edge because I want it to, you know, catch on all this material. If I had it like in the middle, I'd be asking for trouble because that's about where the last one was hitting and it fell off on me. But that was 3/4, but still I'd rather have it in some more. Once again, I feel better about it.
I feel good.
Okay, let me try to get that out of the way. We got some fun stuff coming up here. I think this is where I missed the other one too. I'm almost sure. Take my time here. Hopefully I'll hit it. Yeah, see, I got a couple of curves in here that, see, this would be so much better if I could adjust that somehow, or make it, or maybe even make this wheel a little bit bigger. That's what I might have to do. Make it twice the height instead of, I think it's 3. Maybe make it like a 6 or something. Yeah, and when you're doing stuff like this, guys, there's no hurry. So I mean, if it takes you a minute to go through it, then so be it. I'd rather know that I'm hitting all these areas than to not be, because these are some more curves here. Sometimes I feel like I'm being rushed because I got so much crap going on, and then I end up having to redo something because I should have just slowed my butt down.
Settle down.
And not did that, if you know what I mean. I think we might have hit all this one. Of course, that's probably because I learned from the other one. Learned from my other mistakes. Let me see. That's all good, that's all good, that's all good. Yeah, we hit it everywhere. The other one I missed somewhere, I think in this curve or that curve. Just like 2 or 3 stitches. But, all right, I'm gonna get this back over there, and I'll bring you guys back when I'm over there. All right, guys, so we got this side on. We're gonna go ahead and clip this on this side and get our marks of where our top zipper's gotta go. Okay, as you can see, there's our top one there. Okay. Let me get this in place. Try to even those up a little bit. Okay, that's about right there. Actually, I think that goes up a little bit. And then we'll stretch it down some. Yeah. Just a hair. Keep moving that. Just above that stitch line. Okay. All right. So our zipper, let's try to get this on there. Mark first. That's the end of our zipper, and that's where it goes in. Okay. And this is the end of our top. Let's put a light mark. That's where our top comes down. Put a button there. All right. I think we got what we need. Actually, it seems like that should be out more. Boy, these sweat beads are killing me. Let me try to go a little forward with this. Just a little. Yeah, right there. That makes it fit better. This is gonna bring our zipper back here. This one's gonna come off. Okay. And then that's the back of it. And not this one. Okay. All right. I think we got what we need. We can at least put our zipper on and our Velcro up top so we can zip it in place. And then we can get our buttons figured out from there. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get this zipper basted on and this Velcro. Let's see here. I got to put some marks in this thing. All right. This one back here. That's the back and the front. I'll put it just inside this other binding here. Okay, good. All right. Let's baste these down. We'll just use the quarter because we're going to sew them right away. All right. Let's see. I want to put one right on the binding. We'll just keep it all on that. And then we'll put one just above this line here, just so it's held in place decent. I'll tell you this stuff, I just tore a piece of this off of that zipper, thinking I had it on the wrong side. And man, was that stuff a bear to get off. I finally got smart to kick that fan off. It was blowing everything around, but man, it is so humid out. All right, I'm going to start down here with it, just so I'm inside that. And then our zipper is going to go right on. Okay. And then our marks for it, and I probably should have marked those up here. I think I did. It came off. Daggone it. Right there. Okay, so here's the end of the zipper. So it will go just above. Yeah, like right there. All right. This ought to be fun, sticking it to this. I don't remember putting it to this. I thought I put it in between. You know what? Let me go check that. I'll be back here in a second. I want to make sure I didn't put it between the Velcro. I don't think I put it on top. Give me a second. Okay, yes it was right on top of that. It doesn't stick the best to it, but it gives us a minute to hold it in place while we go sew it. So once we put this on, we're going to the machine.
Quickly!
Not that it's like gonna wear out or nothing, but just to, yeah, it's stuck on it. Okay, so we want this to where the zipper's just above that binding. Good part about it is we can flip it around and check it. Yeah, we're good. Okay, let's take it over here and sew this bad boy up. I'll bring it that way a little bit so we ain't scratching nothing up. All right, let me turn you guys around. Okay, let's go ahead and get this bad boy on. I'm gonna start on this. Now, unfortunately, we ain't gonna be able to hit this on the exact same spot on this binding, but that's okay because this is the part where it goes up into the. All right, as long as we keep it right about there. Give that a couple back sews. I'm gonna try to keep that right in the middle of that zipper. We should be okay. Okay, there's one. Now we'll go back, hit the bottom of this Velcro. Yeah, it's actually right above that one. They all are pretty good, actually. All right, let's just keep this right. Now, when you sew on this, the hook loop part of the Velcro, the softer stuff, the thread falls in pretty good. But on this stuff here, it may look a little funky, like it misses a couple loops, but it's okay. It's how it does on that stuff, but it ain't gonna go nowhere. You can research on that. Several people will tell you there's no biggie with that. And I found that if you go, I think it was a little bit slower. I can't remember if I went slower or faster, it was better. I don't think it matters.
Make up your mind!
I'll show you what it does here in a second. What happens is the loop keeps the pressure foot from being able to get a good flat sew. So it gives you a little funky. I'll show you here in a second. Okay. Cut these off. I don't know if you can see that or not, but in this loop, it's like the thread doesn't stay. Some of them are a little loose, but you can look it up. Several people will tell you it's just fine like that, so it ain't gonna hurt a thing. All right, we're gonna take that back out to the boat, zip it on in place, and then we'll fit where our buttons are gonna go, and we'll finish these two sides up, and then we'll be ready to do the front. So we're about done with these. They're about there. It's kind of late tonight, so we'll be back at it in the morning. All right, so here's where we're at with everything. Originally I was gonna we put the bimini top video out, and then I was gonna do the side windows, another video, and then the front enclosure. Well, the side ones are on the boat. Yesterday I went out and tried to get things set up for it to be on camera so we can do the patterning of the front enclosure, and that did not work out good. It was millions of sweat bees out there. They was attacking us. I mean, even with we had off sprayed on us, it did not matter. So it was kind of aggravating. The wind was crazy. It literally took two of us to even try to get this thing traced out. So it was just not going to happen. So where we're at now is we went ahead and traced it, which we did. I showed you guys on the side windows how that worked, on how to make the patterning with that Durascrim. So it's the same thing, even on the front one. It would have been nice to put it on video and watch it, but what I'm going to do now is we're just going to make this two videos, the Bimini one, and then I'm going to put the side enclosure and the front enclosure together since all this happened. I'm sorry, I really am. I wanted it to be, more in detail, but like I said, the side one showed it, and it's the same thing. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff basted to the vinyl window stuff, and I'll get all that done off camera because we've seen it a few times on the other stuff too. And then I'll get you guys set up over here so we can get this one sewed up, the front enclosure, and then I'll get a camera set up out on the boat, and we'll go out and do the finalized stuff, of everything on what's left. So really the only thing we missed was the patterning of the front window, front enclosure, and setting the side zippers on the side enclosures for the, I don't know what they call the beam that goes around the boat, the wing, the top. They call it something. I can't remember what it's called. But I went ahead and did that yesterday. I sewed the zippers on that, which it's the same thing as we seen on the front part of it, or, even the Bimini top where I sewed that zipper on. Nothing was different. So it's kind of mixed up, but I mean, if you put it all together, you're getting all of it. It just was a little crazy. It really has been. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll get these tape, you know, with the basting tape down on this, and then we'll get it all sewed up and go back out to the boat and do the finalized stuff. Once again, sorry again, guys. I really did try. It was terrible. It would have been funny to watch, probably, us getting stung by the things. I mean, there was a lot of them. It might happen today. You know, I'm out here. It's kind of early right now, but when it gets going, the heat and stuff, then things come out. So we'll see. All right, be back shortly. Okay, we're gonna attempt this. So what I done was I got it all basted down on one side, and I hope it all stays together. Oh boy, and I had to take half the paper out. There's no way that would have stayed in there doing all this, because now I got to feed this thing. One thing I shouldn't have probably done was, yeah, it's starting to come off a little. No, it's just sticking to that. I basted this side already. I probably should have waited. I don't know why I did that. Put the thread over here. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Let's try to do this. If we can get it started. Man, I probably should have left that down. Now I gotta get my foot in here, or my knee. As soon as we get this going. Okay, and I'm trying to start a new bobbin. Imagine that. It usually does okay on its own, but see how that bobbin thing. Gotta try to keep this thing, my foot is so extended. Ooh, we're going through quite a bit of layers here. Oh man, I gotta re-stick that. Cut the edge of that dang thing.
Just some technical difficulty. No problemo.
Is it going? Yeah. Now I'm catching that one. Yeah, those ain't sewed yet, so we gotta be careful. I'll re-stick them down. Get that thing cut. I keep hitting the pedal a little bit more, that way it goes through all the thicknesses faster, so it doesn't hang up on me like it did a minute ago. I'm just putting a little back sew there. Now, let's sew the inner part one, and then we can go with these other ones. What we'll do is we'll check each side, sew that side, check each side, sew that side. That way, if it did come off a little bit, you see this back side. Yep. This is kind of tough. Boy, that's so hard. Ah, come on. It likes catching everywhere. This is why I want to redo all this and get all these surfaces smooth, because of stuff like this. When you're sewing, especially with this basting stuff, you don't want it to catch nowhere, or you're gonna it's gonna lift on you. And then you gotta go back and make sure, and okay. Now, and what we'll do is I'm gonna just do the one side, and then off camera I'll finish the other, because there's no sense of doing the same thing twice, like we always say. And then once we're done with that, we'll come back and do let's do this side first. We'll come back, set all the zipper stuff, get all that stuff good. And boy, I just caught all that. Let me flip it this way and check the back side first. Stuff hanging everywhere. I don't want to catch it. That stayed for the most part. Okay, let's sew this one first. So let me unwind this a little bit. About right there. I want to also catch that bottom one right. Hopefully I catch it right. That stuff's going to be in the way. It's nice to keep it off, but it's a pain in the ass. Just trying to protect it, you know? But I guess it's going to be in the elements of the outdoors here soon, and that ain't really going to matter anymore. Yeah, that side's lifting up. Let me try to get this in a good spot, which is probably going to be none. I don't know where it's catching now. Once I get my one started, try to get a little back, so there. I gotta watch both sides. Quite a bit of work for never being done for me, you know. But this just shows you, if you put your mind to it, anybody can attack this. If you got the machine, and they say in that Searay video that if you purchase their machine and buy all the material to do this kind of a job on your boat, that when you're done with it, it'll pay for the machine and all the materials, that if what you would, and I think gain a little bit from what it would have charged, a shop would have charged. And I don't know what to charge because I've never done them. So they must be pretty high. So for those of you that have boats, this might be a thing to, you know, to look into. Will we have enough down there? I hope so. Yeah, so. Okay. One more on the inner. You can also use what you want on these edges. I'm using that same material I used on the Bimini, that Top Gun, but they make a it's called, what's that stuff called? I'll try to put it in the somewhere in the video there. It's a black, one side's like a shiny and one side's like a matte finish, and I'll show it to you. I got a 2-inch roll of it from Searay when I ordered this stuff, but you can get it by the yard where you can make it your own, because these you have to make these curves the way it goes. You can't just lay out your stuff and curve it, because it's hard enough for the binding to stay flat, let alone a big 3-inch piece of vinyl or something. You know, it's gonna not take the curves well. So you lay it out flat, trace your bottom line, and then you come in 2 or 3 inches or whatever you want, and you know, follow the contour of it. That way it fits your curve perfect. It lays right on it. And in that Searay video, they show that, which I didn't show in mine because I didn't have any to show. I did it with this actually, but I mean, I showed you after it was cut, but same thing. I just put it over a big piece and made my first line. Like I said, made my first line, and then 2 inches in and trace it out. Okay, now that this is going to stick to this, or stay where it needs to stay, I'll try to show you guys a little bit. Let me try to show you with this other camera, with the machine camera, a close-up of it. If you can see there, it looks pretty neat with it like that. Hopefully it's picking that up. I don't have the screen's off in the back. When you record, it goes off for whatever reason. On this GoPro 4, I think it is. The new ones don't do that, but this one. So, okay. I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, lay out the other side and get it sewed on just so all that stuff ain't moving no more. And I'll bring you guys back when we're going to the next part, which is gonna be the Velcro and the zippers and getting that laid out. Cool. All right, we got it all sewed up. We need to get it out to the boat and zip it on. Try to show you guys a little bit. Well, it's the same as the rest of them. I mean, you know what I mean? I use the same stuff on it. Same techniques, same everything. Just a little bigger with clear and vinyl in the middle. But I'm gonna try to get it set up the best I can on the boat. It's a little chilly this morning and I think it's pretty damp out there on the boat. So I gotta get on the front to figure out where my snaps are gonna go around the windshield. So there's really nowhere to, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'll try to get it figured out where we can get some kind of something on camera with it. But after we get this on and figure out where we have to put our, I don't know if I'm putting Velcro on the sides. Okay, you guys can see that. Where the side windows come here, or if I might put a couple little zippers there, but we'll see what that looks like once we get it snapped in place. So, all right, I'm gonna get everything set up out there and I'll bring you guys back here shortly. All right, guys, so didn't go quite as planned. I got out here, there was nowhere to put the camera out there. It was completely morning dew, whatever you want to call it. I almost slipped off 2 or 3 times. You guys would have had a funny bloopers moment there from me. I about fell and busted my butt pretty good. So anyways, I didn't get to do what I wanted to do to show you guys. So what I done was, let me turn you around. I'm gonna kind of take you around here. All right, so I zipped it in up there. Those are the zippers we put in. And then on the outside, I put in the snaps across the upper part of the window. I just drilled some holes, screwed in the, I'll show you all the stuff I used. I drilled in the part that goes in that part, and then I got another tool that puts in my, we may even go over one. I'll show you how I did it with my tool inside. I'll just do a piece of material. But all in all, it fits pretty good. That's very hard to do that in one piece. If I had it all over to do again, if I do it again, however you want to say that, I'll probably bring this one out, or actually I'll make 3 pieces across the front. So I'll probably, right where that line is in the window there, come up there. That'll be one section. There'll be a middle section, and then this side. It would be so much easier to do it that way. This is really hard to do that in one piece.
No joke.
But it turned out pretty good. I mean, it's not fitting the tightest, but I figure with the heat and cool and shrinking around. And plus we had a heck of a time keeping that the Durascrim on there to get our pattern, but it does fit pretty good. And we'll get a drone, we'll get an aerial view of it with the drone when we're all done here. So what we're going to do now is, let me mount this back on the tripod. Okay, what we're going to do now is try to get this in a little closer. All right, we're going to mark where our zippers go to this, let's see, I want that zipper to be, which one is the takeoff? Do I want that on? Okay, we'll leave it just like that. So our takeoff will stay here. But basically, we're just going to set it in there. Our zipper teeth are going to be right on the outside of this one, so I'll know where that goes. That's my bottom. And then on this side, that's going to be the end of it. That's the top. Put a T there for top. And P for port side. We'll put a P on this so we know that zipper goes on that side. All right, let me mark this side real quick. Yeah, once again, sorry guys that I couldn't get that on tape. I feel like I'm robbing you guys of video time. Let's make sure that pull off one is on the inside. Yep, but I'll make it up to you guys. This was a very difficult thing to do, so I'm lucky to have what I have done with it. It has been a very difficult, very difficult.
Quit whining.
And let me get one down here. If I can get that to, okay. And this is S, starboard S. All right, I'm gonna get this stuff. I'm gonna take these off both of the sides and the front. We'll get it back inside. I'll get all set up. We'll finish sewing our zippers on that part there, and we're done with it. I'll get some good little aerials with the drone and stuff for you guys. And then when we do this, let me see if I can't get, yeah, when we do all this back stuff, it'll be a lot easier because we don't have a big windshield in the way, and we can put a ladder in here, and it'll be a lot nicer to do it with. So I am going to remake that one and this the back one here. It's in the cover right now, but they're both kind of in bad shape. They work, they hold water. I mean, that doesn't come in, but as you can see right here, excuse me, look at that. That's separating there. So it's about had it. And I'm gonna have to redo that channel and everything. There's a channel here. I'll probably have to remount that, recaulk it. So I got to put that back in place too. That screw came out. Well, actually one broke off in the fiberglass there. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get it out and get that remounted before we take off tomorrow. So, and like I said before, hopefully I get some footage of Lake Cumberland for you guys. All right, I'm gonna get set up inside. I'll bring you right back. Okay, same thing here, guys. We're gonna baste our zippers on right to that binding. I'm still thinking in my head, do I want to do the binding with it like I done on this stuff? I'm still thinking here. Hopefully by the time I get this stuff on, I'll decide. Oh boy. Problem with it is, this one falls nice. It's kind of straight, but that one over there, it's at an angle. So I don't know. Well, let me get these basted on, and then I'll flip it around when we're at the sewing machine. You guys have seen this before, and then by then you'll see if I'm going to use the binding or not. I'll be right back. Okay, if you guessed I was going to put the binding on, you're correct. I'm also going to add the binding on the outside of these to match the front window, but I ain't going to do that until I get back. Unfortunately, I'm out of time because it just looks good and it'll match it. It's got like a little black border around it, so I'll just go around the inside of the both sides of the window because that's got it on both sides. So yeah, when I get back from the vacay. All right, let's get these on. Once again, the foot is along the edge of the binding here. I can't wait to get this top all flush so this stuff doesn't grab. Little buttons, anything that's got a lip on it, it's bound determined to grab it. So yeah, I think I'm just going to take the entire thing apart and put some kind of I'll probably fill it with Bondo in areas, and I'll probably make a little video out of it. I'm going to try to, just something quick. I'm back sewing these a couple of times because putting these zippers on and off, you're pulling on them pretty good, so that's wanting to walk on me. Hopefully I caught it good. Yep, I did. Oh, we're good. There goes that phone. One noise after another. I haven't heard it all day, and I'm not kidding.
Driving me crazy.
All right, I'm gonna do one more of these side ones on the film, on the whatever you want to call it, film, tape, blah blah blah, and then we'll get them back out to the boat, install them, and get some footage on it, show you the outside and everything, and that's it. We'll be done with these bad boys. All right, let's get one more of these. Yeah, putting that binding on the zipper just gives it more strength, more support, plus it looks good. It ain't just a zipper edge, you know? Plus you're getting a double stitch. It's just everything. It's pretty much a no-brainer. If you can use it, is what I say.
So, use it or lose it, people!
That's a thick part there. I'm going to show you guys real quick too all my little upgrades I've done. I keep saying it, and I said it in the last video. Boy, these scissors suck. They used to be my favorite pair until I dropped them one time. Yeah, I keep saying it in the videos that I'm going to show you guys, and I still ain't showed you. So we'll show it to you here before we're done with this one. Yeah, I'm right along this other binding, so it's making my pressure, my foot, walk just a little. This one didn't do it as much. Okay. Oh look, we just ran out of the bottom thread. Good. All right, I'm going to show you this stuff real quick, and then I'll finish that big one, the front one, and then we'll go back out to the boat. All right, so as you can see, I added a ledge to this one. I went ahead and put some sides on it, and under here, I put a ledge across that too so I can hang my scissors on it. And I put my drawer to my sewing machine on this thing. I took it off of that one because I had to make some little brackets there to go from my machine, little L, kind of like step down brackets to bolt that flush up here. Because if I didn't do that, it would have fell. So I had to make that to keep it flush. I'm already having a problem with stuff that's sticking. And then this thing, I machined it on my lathe to hold my spools. And you can put piping, binding, web, whatever comes on a spool, you can put that. So, and to go with this, I made this thing. I think you guys seen this, but I didn't really explain it. So that screws down into those holes there. I ain't gonna screw it down. And then you got your wheel, which your binding comes around through here. And then I got extra plate so I can keep my attachment on at all times. And all I gotta do is swap out the end from inch, 3/4, inch and a half, whatever. But that just slides in there. And then my belt will go through here, through there, and it works pretty good. The only thing I found wrong with this whole thing here is this stays tighter as it's pulling it. Not tight, but you know, no slack. This is perfect. If not, I'm gonna have to figure out either make this a little bit taller, the aluminum wheel I made, or like I said, figure out a way to keep that snugger. So we'll see what happens. But for now, it works good. I just got to keep an eye on the belt as I'm sewing it through, you know, the binding belt. And what else? I think that's about it. Oh, like I said, I'm going to take all this white surface off throughout the whole thing, all the way to that one. And then other than the tops of the sewing machines, I'm going to flush every edge to the machines. And then I'm going to get a big roll of linoleum and make it all one surface and to go around this. So it'll be smooth across every edge. So we'll do that one day. That's my plan. I just basically wanted to get this stuff done, but I wanted to do other stuff on video and make all that stuff on video. But like I said, once I get going with YouTube, we'll get there one of these days, hopefully. All right, I'm gonna finish that one and then we'll get you guys back out to the boat, button this thing up. All right, I got my sides on. I put my front one back up. Walk my buttons on. It's hard down there without that, or with that hole in that area. You got nowhere to stand. Start my little one here. That's the new one. Okay, get this one. And how did I do that? On that side. Yep. No. You know what? No, I have to do it like this. Or go to the outside. There we go. Ooh, it's hot in here now that this stuff's all closed up. Whew! Alright, man. Alright, let me get you guys a little view of this. Alright guys, we got them all done. We got them up. See how nice that looks with that binding, with that double stitch. And it matches everything else. Like I said, you see this black binding around these. I'm going to do that on these side ones too. I just forgot that I had enough. I don't know what I was thinking. You know me and my thoughts. And as you can see how much this top has tightened up since the sides are on now and the front's pulled it down some. Yeah, really only that corner right there is a little wrinkly. I mean, more than other. But I'd say in time it'll form a little better from the heat and stuff. So, because as it gets hot, you know, it'll form. Then when it cools, it'll shrink a little. So. But that's it, guys. We're all done with it. I'm going to get the drone out and get a top view of it just so I can see it too and you guys can see it. And then that'll be it for this video. I appreciate you guys so much. Alrighty, let me get this thing out. We'll get that on there. Be right back. All right, guys, I'm gonna do this a little different today. There we go. Try to get a good view of it here. I ain't used my drone in so long. I forget how to do the controls. Not bad. Looks pretty good from up here, don't it? Yeah, that'll look better once I get that black on the sides for sure. Yeah. It's a little windy out today. Trying to get some close-ups here. Yeah, not bad at all. I got that on too touchy. There we go. There we go. That's a little smoother. I had it on too fast. It didn't turn out bad at all for the first time, you know? At least I don't think so. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down there, man. Start giving me some comments. All right, guys, let me put this drone up real quick, and I'll be right back with the closing thoughts. All right, guys, that'll do it for this video. I want to say thanks again. Like I said, the subscribers are going up slowly, but they are coming. I mean, I can remember when I was just at 5 or 10, so I'm definitely getting happier. As I said before in this video here, and the last, of course, sorry I couldn't get too much in detail there with the pattern tracing on the bigger items.
I'll make it up to you.
We did do the side windows, so it kind of gives you an idea of what I went through for the bigger stuff. The sweat bees was killing us. The dew all over the boat in the morning. I'm not kidding. I almost fell off 2 or 3 times. I had blankets up there. They was slipping and sliding.
Infinite slip and slide.
I was trying to dry it off. I was, rinsing it in a bucket. It was just, and it kept coming back. It was like it was a dew out pretty bad today. And I had to get on it early because we got to get done here. We're leaving early in the morning. So I'm going to try to get some footage down there in Lake Cumberland. Get you guys a little video of that, maybe some fishing, maybe some cruising across the water. I don't know. I wish I had a smaller drone to take with me. It's just easier to do, like taking off and landing on the boat and stuff out in the middle of the water, or in a cheap one just in case something happens and it goes crashing in the water. Yeah, because this thing's pretty pricey. And then my other one, it's huge. It's like the payload on it's like 200 pounds. That could pick up, that's for people can use it for farming and spraying and all kind of stuff. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, leave some comments for me. Tell me what you think about all this. Like I said, it was my first time doing it. I think I did pretty good with it. I'm definitely going to make the back two. We'll get more in detail with them because I'll have some room to stand back there. So all that should work out better. Until the next one, guys, thank you so much.